Yeah, I'm not here for work or on behalf of the chamber. I'm here just as I'm a Rochesterian. I live in Rochester, but I'm here on a what was supposed to be a trip with my wife and my parents and my brother. Yeah. So we got here Wednesday night. Thursday, we explored. On Friday was a holiday called Simchas Torah, uh, which is a joyous celebration with singing and dancing. We went to a new friend's home that evening for a dinner in their sukkah. And we woke up Saturday morning to sirens and rockets and mortars coming from terrorists in the south from Hamas. So the important thing to remember is that Israel, not that it makes it any less bad or less scary or less awful, but Israel's in a constant battle. They are constantly being infiltrated by terrorists or attempted to be infiltrated by terrorists. They're constantly being bombed. But for it to be where it was, the veracity, the intensity, the kidnappings, the murdering of children, of families, of innocent civilians, not military targets, but residential targets, is unprecedented. And you know uh, the experience that we've had in Tel Aviv um, has been scary for sure. But please make no mistake that we are certainly not in the thick of it. We are hunkered down at our hotel. We are safe. We have electricity and we have food and water, and are by no means, bearing the brunt of this in any way. And so it's important that while we've experienced acts of terrorism here, we're by and large relatively safe and okay, and that others have it far worse. Yes. So this yesterday morning and last night, mostly late last night, we were sent to the bomb shelter, which in hotels in Israel, the bomb shelters are in the stairwells. So that you don't have to go into a basement. The hotels are built so that each stairwell itself is a bomb shelter. So we were sent to the bomb shelter. The first time we were sent to the bomb shelter, uh, very soon after, we felt explosions, right? The vibrations of the explosions that were happening right in Tel Aviv. And thank God, my family and those who were with us are safe, but many were not. And throughout last night, multiple times, the general alarm sounded outside, which triggered the hotel to sound their alarm. And back we went to the bomb shelters, and could hear and feel the vibrations of explosions in Tel Aviv. And again, what we experienced, while terrifying and awful, um, it was not anything compared to what's happening in other parts of the country, what other families are going through, and what Israelis are going through, on unfortunately, a much more severe scale than we are. Yeah. So the if you look at percentage wise, or comparison, it absolutely, the carnage and the death and the injuries are absolutely comparable. In fact, amplified from what 9/11 in the United States was. The unprovoked and uh, uh, intense civilian targeting, child murdering terrorists, innocent civilian tourists like my family, and so many others like us, is heartbreaking. Doesn't touch it. Horrifying. Doesn't touch it. And I think it's important for people to realize that this isn't existential. And if there's something I hope people can get out of this, is my family and I are from upstate New York. My wife Emily and I from Rochester, and my parents, from Buffalo. My brother lives in New York City. This hits close to home, and unfortunately, in Israel, this happens far more often than we might think. Not to the scale, right? As I said before, the violence is consistent, but to this scale is absolutely unprecedented. And I'm glad that we've got leaders like we do, who have condemned these attacks for what they are, and just hope that Israel has the support that it needs to fight back against these terrorists who are targeting anybody they can, to continue to instill fear and terror. We were going to be here for 14 to 15 days. With the time difference, it gets confusing, but we were going to be here. We were going to get back to Rochester October 18th. And we obviously are cutting our trip short, so that, one, of course, our families out of harm's way, but more importantly, so that the resources that are needed to protect this country are not protecting, tourists like us, but can protect, the remainder of the country and the embassies and the Israeli citizens who live here and who fight for this country. Yeah, I have a favor to ask of you. If there's one thing you report, I want you to report what I'm about to just say right now. The fact that there are hundreds of thousands of Americans and certainly more nationals, foreign nationals from around the world, can make my family, the five of us, seem insignificant, and nobody's more important than anyone else in terms of getting to safety. We have a member of Congress in Rochester, Joe Morelli, who has gone above and beyond, and his team have gone above and beyond to get us information, to liaise with the State Department, to get us as up to date and critical information as possible in a timely manner. And thanking him is not a strong enough term. Meredith Dragon is the CEO of the Rochester Jewish Federation. Meredith has been connecting us with people in Israel, from security forces, who've given us input and tips on how to stay safe and be vigilant. And Katie Carroll of Delta Airlines has helped us. We are hoping to get out tomorrow, flying to a country, a nearby country, where we can then hopefully safely fly back to the United States. Katie Carroll of Delta Airlines, who's the regional director, vice president in Rochester, has been an absolute godsend. And those three people are helping to keep us safe. And I'm sure many, many others in our situation. But to Congressman Morelli, to Meredith, and to Katie, thank you for everything you have done and continue to do for my family and so many others. You're literally helping to keep us safe and alive and calm and sane. And we're so grateful. So, Lee, if there's one thing you report, let it be our thanks to those three and to their teams who have done incredible work. Thank you.